Good morning and welcome to the Daily Sports Update Show. Yeah, it's a Monday, guys. It's Monday. Ooh, not long to go till Christmas. As you can see downstairs, we got a countdown to Christmas Eve there. 9 days, 16 hours. Yeah, look. I like the Christmas period. I like it. I'm not I'm not the most religious person, but I do like the whole Christmas vibe and stuff like, you know, getting together with the family, eating, enjoying. That's important for me. That's important for me. But I hope you guys are all doing well. Let me just quickly get into the chat. There you go. Oh, well done. Lawrence is in the house. Antoine, 73 votes this morning already. My question was, who is the GOAT of US sports? Michael Jordan with 33%, Tom Brady with 32%, and Wayne Gretzky with 27%. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll have a look at the end of the show, how that looks. A lot to get into this morning. A lot of crazy stuff going on in the sports world, as per usual. But before we get into the sports world, we've hit 121,000. Ooh, I always forget that 100,000. It's a big forget. 121,197. So, guys, thanks a lot for that. That is fantastic. Much appreciated. So, my message is keep on liking, subscribing, and hitting the notification button. There you go. Perfect in this morning. Let's get a look at the topics this morning. 15th of December, 9 days till Christmas. And some people unwrap presents already in the sports world, and others, not doing so well. Football, rugby, of course. Do we have to talk about rugby? NFL, NHL, NBA, darts, cricket, some winter sports, even got some floorball, which we call une hockey, but the rest of the world calls it floorball. We'll get into that. Special mention for the ladies there, don't worry. But hey, let's start in the Premier League, and some interesting games there last night. Of course, the big game is still tonight, Manchester United against Bournemouth. Let's hope we can get it done tonight. Could be moving up in the table. But let's have a look at all those results. We'll go through all of them. Chelsea, Everton 2-0. Liverpool looking good, 2-0 against Brighton. Oh, that was there you see. I'm still I'm still working on getting rid of this cold. Bad result there for Burnley, 2-3 to Fulham. That's hurting them. Arsenal got lucky there against Wolverhampton. It just shows you the Premier League. The top team against the bottom team, and they with squeaky bum time. In the 94th minute, they lucked into a goal. But hey, that's how you become champions. Crystal Palace got thrashed by Manchester City 3-0. Old Haaland, there were 2 goals in that one. Spurs is not good nothing is good at Spurs at the moment. The fans are going mad. They want to get rid of the coach already. And they lost to Nottingham Forest 3-0. I've got to give it to old Sean Dyche. Since he's come in, really done a good job there. Sunderland beats Newcastle in the derby there. And it was a feisty one. And you can imagine Granit Xhaka was at the middle of everything. But Sunderland knocking off Newcastle 1-0. Aston Villa against West Ham, crazy game. West Ham were up early 2-0, 2 Jared Bowen goals, and then Aston Villa came back. Unai Emery and his boys are doing really well this year. And last but not least, Brentford against Leeds 1-1, which was a fantastic result for me. Because, guys, let me just tell you, I'm running away with the tips. Let me just check out the chat one more time quickly just to make sure that no one's in there. There you go. So, yeah. And, of course, tonight we're going to have Man United against Bournemouth. Let's have a quick look at the tables because today is not Table Tuesday. Obviously, it's a Monday. But we'll get into all the tables tomorrow, of course. But let's have a quick look at the standings of the Premier League. This is your top 10 at the moment. We only do the top half because we don't do mediocrity. Arsenal 2 points ahead of City and 3 points ahead of Aston Villa. So it's getting squeaky bum there. It's looking interesting. A lot of people thought Arsenal were going to run away with it. Nah, not the case. I still think Chelsea's in the hunt. Crystal Palace, I think Liverpool's in the hunt. Sunderland, I mean, look, if you're less than 10 points away, I think you're still in the hunt for the championship. Doesn't mean you're going to make it. But theoretically, you're still there. But look, theoretically, Arsenal could still get relegated. Theoretically. So, lose the last 22 games of the season, you get relegated. Things like that can happen. But, that's the Premier League. Let's go into La Liga. There were some games there last night. Sevilla thrashed Real Oviedo 4-0. Celta Vigo beat Club Athletic Bilbao 2-0. And Real Madrid sneak past Alaves 2-1. There were some games in the Bundesliga. Jawohl, jawohl. Guten Morgen to my German friends. SC Freiburg and Dortmund, they drew 1-1. Not a good result for Dortmund. Bayern, you see there, I'm telling you, in football, everything's possible. Bayern is top of the table. Mainz is at the bottom of the table, and they drew 2-2. And the VfB Stuttgart beat Werder Bremen 4-0. So, yeah, if you want to see the tables, join me tomorrow morning for all those countries. Then there were some games in the Serie A in Italy. AC Milan and Sassuolo drew 2-2, so not good result for Milano. Hellas Verona beat Fiorentina 2-1. Udinese Calcio beat Naples 1-0. Upset. Genoa lost to Internazionale Milano 2-1. And Juventus beat Bologna 1-0. In the French league, or as I call it, the Baguette League, Lyon beat Le Havre 1-0. Lille beat Auxerre 4-3. Must have been an interesting game if you were in the stadium. Lens beat Nice 2-0. Strasbourg and Lorient could only manage a draw. And Marseille knocked off Monaco. Vic, are you a legend in your... Yeah, of course I'm a legend in the soccer tips, man. Savant, legend, whatever you want to call me. Just bloody fantastic. There you go. Marseille, Monaco 1-0. Good result there for the boys from Marseille. And then we're not going to forget the ladies. The English Women's Super League. Chelsea thrashed Brighton 3-0. Leicester beat the London City Lionesses 1-0. Manchester City thrashed Aston Villa 6-1. West Ham and Liverpool could only manage, it was a good 2-2 draw. And in the last game of the round, Manchester United and Spurs drew 3-3. So, yeah, interesting results there in the women's English football. I'm going to add those tables of the ladies tomorrow. Don't worry. Let me write that down. I don't forget. Women's Prem table. There you go. Write it down. And I can read it. I don't write like Vern. There you go. Then we move into the NFL. Ooh, what a night it was in the NFL last night, guys. Some crazy shit was happening there. Some crazy shit. Let's start this all off. I mean, of course, we know that Falcons Buccaneers game, that was on Thursday night, the 29-28. But let's get into it. We'll start. The Browns are not very good at the moment. They lost to the Bears. Caleb Williams there with 2 touchdowns for the Bears. They won 31-3. The Ravens destroyed the Bengals 24-0. Derrick Henry over 100 yards there. Look, Jamar Chase was good for the Bengals. Caught 10 catches for 132 yards, but like Joe Burrow again with 2 interceptions. Then the Chargers knocked off the Chiefs 16-13. We'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But, there was an injury to Patrick Mahomes. But look, Chiefs are out of the playoffs. The first time in 10 years, Chiefs are not going to the playoffs. And a lot of people talking about our poll today, is Tom Brady the GOAT of American sports? A lot of people have Patrick Mahomes as the better quarterback. And I can tell you one thing. Tom Brady played 23 years in the NFL, right? He missed the playoffs twice. Once, he got injured in the 3rd game of the season and his team missed the playoffs. And the other time he missed the playoffs was in his last season at Tampa Bay when they had a terrible offensive line. So, I mean, for me, there's not even a GOAT decision there. But Justin Herbert did come through for the Chargers. The Bulls and the Patriots, oh my Lord, what a game. I watched that whole one. 35-31 to the Bulls. I mean, both quarterbacks were fantastic. Josh Allen, after being down 21-0, Josh Allen brought the troops back. 3 touchdowns, 193 yards. Look, Henderson for the Patriots had 148 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. Look, great game. Not the greatest result for me, but it is what it is. Commanders beat the Giants 29-21. Does anybody care? 2 terrible football teams. The Eagles demolished the Raiders 31-0. Jalen Hurts with 3 touchdowns there. Saquon Barkley had a rushing touchdown. Dallas Goedert had 2 touchdowns there for the Eagles. So good stuff. The Jaguars destroyed the Jets 48-20. Trevor Lawrence had 330 yards and 5 touchdowns. I think that's the most touchdowns he's ever thrown in the NFL. Let me just see. There you go. Jets, Jaguars. Before I go further, I got to change to the bottom half of the screen. There you go. There you go. Then the Cardinals and the Texans. The Texans beat the Cardinals 40-20. CJ Stroud there with 3 touchdowns, 260 yards. The Packers, ooh, that's a big one. The Broncos, surprising a lot of people, man. The Broncos beating the Packers in a massive game, 34-26. Bo Nix with 4 touchdowns, 302 yards. I mean, what can you say about this man? This man is doing crazy things there in Denver. Soon they're gonna forget the name John Elway, man. They're gonna forget it. It's gonna just be Nix, baby. The Rams beat the Lions. Now that was also a big game. 41-34. Matthew Stafford, once again, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns. The Rams are rolling, baby. Big upset. I could put out a siren here. The Saints beating the Panthers. The Saints are doing a number on everybody. They are out of the playoffs already. But last week they beat the Buccaneers, who was on top of the league. Now they beat the Panthers. Well done to the Saints. 49ers, no problems with the Titans, 37-24. Brock Purdy had 295 yards and 3 touchdowns. The Colts are in free fall, baby. Free fall. They are now 8-6. I think they were 8-2 at one stage. The Colts are just in a terrible situation. They lost to the Seahawks, 18-6. And it looks like the Seahawks have got a guaranteed playoff spot, I think. Sam Darnold doing well there with 271 yards. But look, shout out to my friend Dominic there. Your Seahawks are doing well. And then in the late game, the Vikings knocked off the Cowboys. Kind of seals the Cowboys season for me. They are also done with the playoffs. Let's have a quick look at what the playoff situation is looking like. We'll put it out there like that. There you go. So those are, look, the Broncos and the Rams are the only 2 teams that are guaranteed a playoff spot at the moment. But look, the Patriots, the Jaguars should be in the playoffs. The Bills should be there. The Texans, Steelers could still fall out. The Ravens are on their heels. On the other side, the Rams definitely in. I think the Bears will be in. The Eagles will be in. The Seahawks, the 49ers, the Packers all should be in. The Buccaneers and the Panthers there, the Carolina Panthers, that could still be a toss-up who wins the division. That's your playoff picture. Now we're going to talk about our Patty Mahomes. Look, yes, they lost the game yesterday. He got injured in the dying seconds. His injury didn't cost them the game because they had already lost the game. Look, we got to say to Patrick, I heard he tore his ACL, so Patrick Mahomes, get well soon, recover, and hopefully you're back for the beginning of next season. There you go. Then we move into the NBA last night, and a few games in the NBA, interesting ones. Just want to check out that I'm right there. There you go. So the Wizards beat the Pacers. Not a big surprise there, 108-89. Bagley with 23 points and 14 rebounds for the Wizards. The Hornets beat the Cavaliers, and that's a little bit of a surprise, 119-111. Knoppel had 29 points for the Hornets. The 76ers lose to the Hawks, 121-17. The Bucks got thrashed by the Nets, 127-82. The Timberwolves beat the Kings, 117-103. The Pelicans got past the Bulls, 114-104. The Lakers beat the Suns, 116-114. DeAndre Ayton for the Lakers with 20 points and 13 rebounds. And the Warriors lost to the Trailblazers, 136-131. Stephen Curry had 48 points, and it wasn't enough. Sharp doing well there for the Trailblazers. He had 35 points and 4 steals. So that is your NBA. If you want to watch the NBA tables, join us tomorrow morning for Table Tuesday. And we'll have a comprehensive update on everything North American on across the pond. And before we get to the NFL, across the pond, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, it'll run through at a new starting time, not at 1700 Central European time anymore. We've changed the time. It's going to be 2300 Central European time every Wednesday evening. Just going a little bit later now. There you go. NHL, baby. The Canucks beat the Devils 2-1. The Mammoth beat the Penguins 5-4. The Flyers lost to the Hurricanes 2-3. The Bruins lost to the Wild. Yeah, a wild one there, 6-2. The Oilers lost to the Canadiens 4-1. And get the tissues out for Vern because the Sabres beat the Kraken 3-1. Don't forget, this weekend, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, dogs and cats, whatever you're, it is the college football playoff start on the 21st of December. I'm going to definitely try to do the Oklahoma against Alabama game. That's going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning on the 20th of December. So I will try to do that one. That's going to be very interesting. I love college football. So let's see who's playing. James Madison will take on Oregon. Alabama will take on Oklahoma. The Sooners. Tulane will take on Ole Miss. Miami will take on Texas A&M. Ohio, Georgia, Indiana, and Texas Tech Raiders are all qualified already for the second round. They've got to buy in the first round. So that's going to be really interesting there. I'll let you know exactly what time those games are going to be on our channel. College hoops there. Only one game, but on the men's side, Iowa State beat Eastern Illinois 78-53. On the ladies' side, we have Texas Longhorns beating Baylor 89-54. Tennessee beat Winthrop 112-40. Ohio State beat Toledo 85-60. Then Nebraska beating Illinois State 85-44. Kentucky beat Belmont 77-69. The South Carolina State lost to Ole Miss 91-32. Let's keep on going. The Gamecocks, South Carolina, beat Penn State 95-55. Louisville Cardinals beat North Carolina Tar Heels 76-66. I'll be out there. Just 1 second. Notre Dame against James Madison 78-65. Last but not least, TCU beat Jacksonville 89-49. Michigan State beat DePaul 90-46. And Iowa State beat Northern Iowa 81-83. Now I'll have a look at the chat. Marnus, what the hell's going on here? Good morning, Vic. I'm ready for Man United to lose. United is not going to lose. Previous. Oh, okay. All right. So there you go. Look, there was Investec Rugby on the weekend. Oh, my Lord. Look, join us this afternoon at 1700 because we're going to break down. I've got a theory here. And if I'm the Investec people that have, or the Rugby Championship people here, the Champions Cup, I'm finding some of these teams. I'm starting with the Bulls. I'm finding their arse. I mean, look at all the results there. I mean, we'll get into the results from yesterday. Harlequins beating Bionnet 68-14 because Vern did the other results on Saturday. Custis beating Edinburgh 33-0. The Saints beating the Bulls 55. Toulon beating Bath 45-34. And the Bears beating Selection Palois 62-12. If you look at these results, right, I've got a theory, but I'll only tell you that theory today at 1700 Central European time. But not good. And if you want to see the tables of the Investec Cup, Table Tuesday, tomorrow, or join the DEFCON Rugby show this afternoon. Basketball, big week in basketball, a double round in the EuroLeague. Tuesday, Wednesday, those are the games coming up. On Tuesday, we'll have live Fenerbahce against Panathinaikos. On Wednesday, we're going to have live Salgiris against Anadolu live on the channel, so join us for that. Then, like I said, a double header, Thursday, Friday, more games coming up. Big one on Thursday. That's the one game of the week. I think Panathinaikos take on Hapoel Tel Aviv live on this channel. And on Friday, Salgiris will take on Partizan live on this channel. Check out all your teams, all your favorites. That's your EuroLeague for this week. Guys, the darts last night. Some big upsets there. We've got to talk about them. Previous. Okay. Johnny Tata beat Richie Edhouse 0-3. Tom Taylor blew past Oscar Loika Zaik 3-0. Richard Venestra, he lost to Nitin Kumar, the man from India, the first Indian ever to win a game at Ali Pali. Well done to him. Namaste, my friend. 3-2. And for all his, and now he has to think, I think he faces Stephen Bunting. Joe Cullen, my man, beating Bradley Brooks 3-0. Lucas Venig, it was a little bit Venig there from Lucas Venig. He lost to Presley Plazer 3-1. Dimitri van der Berg, he got thrashed, demoralized, annihilated 3-0 by Darren Beveridge. I feel for Dimitri van der Berg. The man's in a bad place. You can see it. The commentators are talking about this. I don't know what he has to do, but he was such a good darts player, and he's just nosedive. Does he need a break from darts? He doesn't look good. Stephen Bunting got a big scare there last night. the number 4 in the world, or something like that. He almost got knocked out by Sebastian Bielecki. Almost got his Lecky there. Yeah, there you go, 3-2. And James Hurrell, he knocked off Stowe Bunt, 3-1. So, yeah, that's your darts for yesterday. We'll be back with live darts on Tuesday, not tonight, on Tuesday night. Then we've got to move to the cricket. And it's looking good. Not only in darts are the Indians good, but in cricket as well. They beat South Africa by 7 wickets. South Africa had 117 runs in their 20 overs, and India only needed 15.5 overs to get their 120. So, yeah, easy peasy, man. No problem there for the Indians. Let's have a look at who was good in that game. Arshdeep Singh was the man of the match. But if you look at the South Africans, Aiden Markham had 61. That's about it. Boom, end of story. The Indians just played a better game. Well done to them. Then we move a little bit into the winter sport. Not going to forget that. Winter sport. There you go. And the ladies there, it was the Super Giant Slalom, also known as the Super G. And the Kiwi, Alice Robinson, she won ahead of Romana Miradoli and Sofia Goccia, the French and the Italian lady. Lindsay Vaughan came in 4th there. Well done. The lady's 41 years old and she's doing phenomenal things. The best Swiss was Mallory Blanc. The best Austrian was Cornelia Hütter. Swiss and the Austrians, not a good day for them there on the piste. In the men, it was the slalom. And look, if you could have been the Norwegian Championships with a little bit of extras there. Timon Haugen won ahead of Luke Mayer. Another Norwegian, Hendrik Kristoffersen, in 3rd. Alex Vinatsa in 4th. And then more Norwegians wherever you look. The best Austrian was in 8th, Marco Schwarz. Then the young man there, Matthias Itten of Switzerland, still coming in 10th. Well done to him. Yeah, winter sport going to be big on this channel in February when the Olympics start. Then we move into floorball, my boys and girls. And yes, we are world champions in floorball, or as we call it, Unihockey, Schweiz, Switzerland. As our, what's his name would say, Cool Runnings, Schweiz, 2-0 against the Czech Republic. And yeah, well done to the Swiss ladies. We are floorball or Unihockey world champions. There the ladies are. Congratulations. I thought I had to bring that in, Schweiz, there you go. But that's the show for this morning. Don't forget, join me tomorrow morning for Table Tuesday. All the tables, all the breakdowns and all that. If you want to have the rugby breakdowns and the rugby tables, then you've got to join us this afternoon at 1700 for the DEFCON Rugby Show. Otherwise, guys, have a great day. Go buy those presents. Send them to Vic. I think I deserve them. Send them to me. Go buy your presents. Have a wonderful day. Stay safe. See you tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.